I'll never forget the way the room went quiet after I said those words. The air seemed heavier, like even the walls were holding their breath. My wife, no, the woman I thought was my wife, froze in the middle of the living room, her suitcase half-zipped on the rug. Her hands trembled, her lips parted, but no sound came out. For 15 years I had imagined 100 scenarios where we might part. Illness, a terrible accident, or simply drifting apart. But betrayal, that was never in the script I wrote for our lives. It started, as these things often do, with something small. Subtle cracks. For months, I had been noticing little changes in Emma. She guarded her phone like it was made of glass. She laughed at texts I wasn't part of. She started going to late meetings, even though she worked at a local non-profit where late nights were rare. One evening, she came home smelling of cologne that wasn't mine. It was faint, but sharp enough that it cut through my trust like a blade. I asked her about it. She laughed nervously and said she had hugged a colleague goodbye after a fundraising event. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. But the seed of doubt had been planted. The friend who knew. It was my best friend, Mark, who forced me to see what I didn't want to. We'd been friends since college, the kind of bond that could withstand distance, jobs, and marriages. One night, while we were nursing beers on his back porch, he turned to me with that uncomfortable look only a real friend gives. The one that says, "I'm about to ruin your night, but I'd rather do that than watch you be a fool." "John," he said carefully, "I saw Emma downtown last week. She wasn't alone." My heart stuttered. Who was she with? He hesitated. Some guy. I didn't recognize him. They were close. Closer than co-workers should be. I laughed it off, at least on the surface. I told him he must have been mistaken. But that night I didn't sleep. My mind ran circles, replaying every strange detail I'd ignored. Trap. I needed proof. Not gossip. Not suspicions. Cold, undeniable proof. So I did something I never thought I'd do in my marriage. I snooped. I waited until Emma fell asleep and crept downstairs with her phone. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped it. She had a password, of course, but I'd watched her unlock it 1,000 times. Within seconds I was in. The messages were there. Hidden in a folder under a fake app that looked like a calculator. "Last night was amazing. I can still taste you. I wish you were here instead of him. Soon, baby. Be patient." My chest tightened. My throat burned. I wanted to wake her up, shove the phone in her face, demand an explanation. But I didn't. I just sat there in the dark, reading the destruction of 15 years one message at a time. And then I saw the worst part, a photo. Her smile. That same smile I thought was mine. But her head was on another man's chest. The breaking point. I tried to act normal the next morning. I kissed her forehead when she left for work, but my lips felt numb. I went through the motions of my day, but my mind was a battlefield. That evening I set the trap. "Let's have dinner out," I suggested casually. "There's that new Italian place you've been wanting to try." She lit up. "Really? That sounds perfect." But halfway through the meal, she got a work call. She excused herself, phone in hand, and stepped outside. Through the restaurant's glass window, I watched her smile. Not the stressed smile of a woman dealing with work, but the soft, glowing smile of someone talking to a lover. That was it. That was when something inside me snapped. The confrontation. That night when she came back home, I was waiting in the living room. Her phone sat on the coffee table. I had left it open to the damning messages. She stopped in her tracks, color draining from her face. "Emma," I said, my voice quieter than I expected. "How long?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Then the tears started. "John, Wow. Long. Almost a year," she whispered. I felt the room tilt. A year. While I was planning our 15th anniversary trip. While I was fixing the leaky roof. While I was telling our friends how lucky I was to have her. A year. I stood, my hands clenched. "Pack your things and go." Her tears came harder. "Please, John, don't do this. It was a mistake. I love you. Love me." I laughed, but it was hollow. You loved me while lying to my face. While letting another man touch you. That's not love, Emma. That's betrayal. A plea. She fell to her knees, grabbing at my hands. We can fix this. We can go to therapy. Please don't throw away 15 years. Her touch made my skin crawl. Pulled back. You threw it away the first time you chose him over me. For a moment I almost faltered. 15 years isn't something you just toss aside. I thought about our wedding day, about the way she looked holding our newborn son, about the quiet evenings when it felt like the world was ours. But then the image of her with him slammed back into my mind, and the softness hardened into resolve. No, I said firmly. You need to go. The departure. The next hour was a blur. She stuffed clothes into a suitcase, sobbing, begging me to reconsider. I sat on the couch, staring at the wedding photo on the wall. 2 young kids in love, promising forever. As she wheeled her suitcase to the door, she turned one last time. You'll regret this, John. I made a mistake, but I still love you. I shook my head. The woman I loved died the day you betrayed me. Whoever you are now, I don't know you. And then the door closed behind her. The silence after. The silence that followed was deafening. I sat there for hours, numb, the photo still hanging on the wall like a cruel reminder. At some point, I pulled it down and placed it face down on the table. The bed felt cavernous that night. Her side was cold, and for the first time in 15 years, I didn't reach for her in the dark. The reflection. In the weeks that followed, the pain came in waves. Some mornings, I woke up gasping, reaching for her before remembering she was gone. Other times, anger surged through me like fire, and I wanted to burn every memory of her to ash. But slowly, I began to see something else. A strange kind of clarity. I realized I had been living with blinders on, mistaking routine for love, mistaking comfort for loyalty. Emma had betrayed me, yes, but she had also freed me. Freed me from the illusion that what we had was unbreakable. The ending she didn't expect. Months later she reached out. An email long and desperate. She wrote about how the other man had left her. How she realized she had thrown away something irreplaceable. She begged for another chance. I stared at the words, my chest heavy, my heart bruised but not broken anymore. For the first time I felt nothing but pity. I wrote back just one sentence. You taught me what love isn't. I won't make the mistake of forgetting that. Then I hit send and closed that chapter for good. Epilogue. 15 years. That's a lifetime in some ways. And it ended with a suitcase by the door and words I never thought I'd say. Pack your things and go. But sometimes the hardest words are the most necessary. Because betrayal doesn't just break love. It exposes what was fragile all along. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it.